I know sometimes during a live we can get distracted by a lot of different topics, but today there's a conversation about the Catholic view of justification. I guess I knew that Catholicism sees sanctification and justification as pretty much synonymous, but it never really made the connection that if sanctification can be increased, that justification can be increased as well. And I'm trying to be clear and fair about what I mean by increase or what is meant by increase. But I don't think that justification is a one-time event as we see in the life of Abraham, so maybe I'm causing a distinction without the difference. Someone can help me with this. When one is converted, they are washed, sanctified, justified, 1 Corinthians 6:11. In Genesis, I want to say 12, or maybe 11, Abraham trusts and obeys God, like he obeys by faith. Hebrews 11:8. I think it's Genesis 12. Hebrews 11:8 references Abraham obeying by faith when he left Ur of the Chaldees. There's no mention of justification there, but he obeyed by faith. In Genesis 15, God gives him a new promise, and he believes it, and he does not disobey or run away from what God has planned for him. So he believed, it's counted for him as righteousness, he's justified. In Genesis 22, Abraham is justified by works and not just by his belief. And before you respond to that, think about what it would mean if Abraham did not obey. If he would not be justified, he would be condemned for not obeying God. But we see a growth in sanctification for him to have that level of trust and that complete and utter obedience. But justification is just something that happens at least twice in his life. Once because he believed, and another because he believed and he obeyed. I don't see that as an increase. I see that as throughout his life, God is declaring that he is righteous and that he is not condemned. D. Gene West used to say that our judgment isn't necessarily something we face solely at the end of time, that the way we live our life, there is a judgment. And if the soul departs from the body and goes to heaven, there's already a judgment that's being done. We're being judged according to our works, and God would have to justify us in committing these works of faith in order for us to, the soul depart the body and you can go to heaven when we die. Between that point and the final resurrection on the last day. But in the end, I don't see this as an increase in justification. I see this as God declaring righteous because we trust and we obey, based solely on Christ and mercy and grace, of course.